From the depths of Black Mesa to the alleys of City 17, it's safe to say that Half-Life has changed the way everyone thinks about first-person shooters and video games at large. Now, with the announcement of the long-awaited Half-Life 3, Valve breaks its 13-year silence and gives us all the details on the game's notoriously troubled and lengthy development. Hi, I'm Kyle Stover with the Leaderboard, and we're here to give you all of the facts we know about the upcoming sequel, including some insider knowledge we guarantee you've never heard. So get ready to head back to Ravenholm, check behind you for head crabs, and get that gravity gun ready, because we've got 107 facts about Half-Life 3. Let's get started.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Number 1. Half-Life 3 was officially announced at PAX East 2017. Finally! Number 2. Immediately after the announcement, many of the crowd couldn't tell if this was all a cruel joke. We can't blame them after how long it's been. The live audience was silent, and some people even booed. After about 3 minutes of awkward mumbling, the crowd finally burst into applause when Valve co-founder Gabe Newell took the stage and confirmed its truth. Number 3. It's really happening, he said to an elated crowd, and it's happening next April. After the announcement, he embarked on a remarkably robust press tour for the game's promotion, which has led most of the information we have on its famously classified development. Number 4. This will be Valve's first official game to be released for the Oculus Rift as well as the HTC Vive. Number 5. According to Valve co-founder Gabe Newell, the team wanted to go in a very different direction with the game. He wanted it to be, quote, something new and fresh, something people have never seen before, end quote. Number 6. Inspired by indie darlings such as Gone Home and Undertale, the decision was made early on to include no guns in Half-Life 3. That's right, no guns. A complicated dialogue morality system was implemented in its stead so you could talk your way out of battles and better understand the motivations and pathos of the alien enemies. Number 7. One of the early builds of the no guns version included a 64-person online deathmatch mode, where teams could win a game by convincing the opposing team that the philosophical tenets they were fighting for were built on flawed intellectual ground. Valve abandoned this though after realizing it was basically the same as Tumblr. Number 8. After 3 years of development spent on the no guns version of Half-Life 3, Valve made the decision to scrap it when an intern accidentally wiped the server. He was supposedly attempting to log into Crunchyroll. These things happen, said Valve co-founder Gabe Newell. Reality is just a ball of chaos and lies. Number 9. Upon re-examining the game, Valve decided to add 2 weapons to the Half-Life 3 experience, the fan favorites of the crowbar and the gravity gun. Number 10. In order to get the physics correct for the updated gravity gun in the game, Valve employees built a real working prototype in conjunction with Elon Musk. Number 11. The first few tests of the real gravity gun were disastrous. An unknown source said, quote, "We tried to use it on that intern who liked anime and somehow made a black hole or something? I don't know. Everyone agreed it was freaky." This functionally was added into Half-Life 3. Number 12. The perennial population of the headcrab enemies led the team's attempt to recapture the magic with their evolution, the head lobsters. Dun dun dun. Number 13. Unfortunately, it didn't work. In an interview with IGN, Valve co-founder Gabe Newell went on his impassioned rant. I never want another lobster roll ever again. It's a real shame because I used to love them. The perfect treat for when you're on a private beach and your manservant carries it over to you. Richard was so very good with that. But I had to fire him because of how much I frickin' hate lobster rolls now. After the interview, Gabe Newell apologized for the outburst and admitted it had been a very long day. Number 14. John Hamm has been confirmed to provide the voice of Gordon Freeman. Number 15. The subtitle Half-Life 3 Episode 3 Requiem for Dr. Freeman was added so it wouldn't be confused with the late 2017 release of LEGO Half-Life 3. Number 16. The subtitle was later amended to Half-Life 3 Requiem for Gordon Freeman after playtesters kept waiting for acclaimed actor Morgan Freeman to make an appearance. Can you blame him? Number 17. A special Classical Gamer Edition will be available at launch that features the full game spread across 107 floppy disks. This is an homage to the original Half-Life being on a record-breaking 6 floppy disks. Each floppy disk will give you exactly 5 minutes of gameplay before needing to be switched. Number 18. After going through more game engines than The Last Guardian, Valve decided to drop the Source engine and work with the Fox engine, made famous by Metal Gear Solid's Hideo Kojima. Number 19. Using the Fox engine's latest advancements in motion capture technology, the game was created by capturing real-life environments, props, and a mocap-suited body double for John Hamm. Number 20. Production of this game has been going on for so long that you can find early hints of the viral marketing all the way back in the mid-series episodes of King of the Hill. In Season 5, episodes 15 through 18, Strickland Propane is bought out and taken over by Black Mesa Propane and Crowbar Accessories. Number 21. To keep in theme, about 2 hours into Half-Life 3, we are finally introduced to Barney's brother that has been alluded to since his early appearance in Half-Life Lost Islands. We now know that Barney's brother, Hank, is none other than Hank Hill. Or at least someone who looks suspiciously a lot like the propane peddler. Number 22. After 6 years of development on the 2 guns version of Half-Life 3, Valve finally relented and updated the arsenal to a more standard size. People want frickin' guns, I guess, complained Newell. Sometimes I just feel the game industry is lacking vision. Number 23. The new weapon, called the Bolts and Rust 3000, is a reference to the Poltergust 3000, found in Nintendo's Luigi's Mansion. Number 24. The delay in Half-Life 3 has mostly been due to a highly critical beta test. Most of our sources say the testers were so disappointed in the beta version of the game, Valve scrapped several iterations of the game entirely. Number 25. Many video game data miners have found several Valve assets in Half-Life 3's source code, including several hats from Team Fortress 2, various assets from the Left 4 Dead franchise, and the companion cube from Portal. Even the potato gun was found. Please, Valve, if anything, just one thing, just please make that a usable weapon. Number 26. Half-Life 3 is the first game by Valve to cost over $100 at launch, and that's just the standard edition. Number 27. Valve spent months trying to find the right musical artists to revive their imagined sci-fi pop epic soundtrack. Artists vetted included Snoop Dogg, Nickelback, Imagine Dragons, Ariana Grande, and even Tony Bennett. Gabe Newell eventually casted the winning vote for acclaimed recording artist Sugar Ray. Number 28. An NPC, or non-playable character, labeled as George is in the game's data, but has only had one line recorded and will repeat it over and over again if the player spams crouching next to him. And the quote is, "I believe Han shot first. You want to fight about it?" Number 29. It is impossible to save your progress in Half-Life 3. Valve wanted to, quote, reimagine the way current games are played, and decided to pay homage to the NES era by using the password system. Number 30. With the notable exception of John Hamm's portrayal of Gordon Freeman, every other character in the game was voiced and motion captured performed by acclaimed actor Willem Dafoe. Number 31. I just think Willem Dafoe is the greatest, you know, said a visibly drunk Newell. Did you see Spider-Man? He was great in that. I just thought, this guy can do anything. Dafoe reportedly spent 47 weeks completing work for the game. Number 32. 23 minutes of Half-Life 3's game footage was uploaded to the Japanese website Nico Nico Dwaga in April of 2014. It showcased 3D platforming, grapple hook mechanics, and contained temporary special effects from games like Nintendo 64's Banjo-Kazooie and the Game Boy's Tetris Blast. Number 33. Half-Life 3 can be beaten without using a single bullet, and actually just not pressing any buttons for 90 hours, 14 minutes, and 20 seconds to be exact. At this point, the game's final cutscene plays and the player is greeted with a "thanks for playing" message featuring an image of several attractive cosplayers. Number 34. Production IG, the studio behind Ghost in the Shell and Attack on Titan animated series, animated some of the cutscenes. Unfortunately, everything was scrapped due to an error in communication over the scene's content. The X-rated video files remained in the game's data though, but are only accessible through Hack or GameShark. Number 35. When Valve co-founder Gabe Newell was asked about the themes in Half-Life 3, what they would be tackling, he said, "We want amazing storytelling, all in one chapter. Overt themes about global warming, and the groundbreaking double controller mechanic for a single-player campaign. Mostly global warming, though. That's what the polar bear level is all about." Number 36. A lot of the sound effects for the creation of Half-Life 3 were actually recorded using real weapons, but the iconic crowbar sound was reimagined and achieved by smacking a piece of cheese with an umbrella. Monster cheese, to be exact. The uncut and raw audio files can be found on Newell's Vine account. Number 37. Fans were more than thrilled to finally have Half-Life 3. It broke pre-order sales records in its first week of announcement, and this alone makes Half-Life 3 the highest-grossing game ever made by Valve. Number 38. Valve has announced that every console will have their own edition of Half-Life 3 with extra goodies. This includes, of course, the PC, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 360, the Nintendo GameCube, the Nintendo 3DS, the Game Boy SP, the Game Gear, the Atari 2600, the Sega Dreamcast, the original prototype of the Xbox that actually did not make public distribution, the, what was it called? The N-Gage, mobile phones, iPhones and Android, Microsoft tablets, Samsung tablets, tube televisions, as well as the classic Nintendo home entertainment system. Number 39. The team tried for weeks to get the Atari 2600 port to operate at full or nearly full graphics, and they succeeded. An anonymous source inside Valve said, "Honestly, we just copied and pasted the code for Duck Hunt. No one ever played it, so I guess we did the job." Number 40. The world went crazy with the announcement of Amiibo support after one Reddit user claimed Amiibo support would be cool. I don't know, so Valve put it in, I guess. Number 41. This included Half-Life 3 having their own line of Amiibo, but also supporting all previously made Amiibos and even Skylanders. Number 42. Half-Life 3 unfortunately never saw a proper release in Italy, and was only seen as a bootleg entitled Super Half-Life 2. Number 43. If you walk around near the SSN and stumble upon a truck, you can use strength to move it, and you will find a Pokeball under it containing the fabled Mew. Number 44. In 2008, concept images were uploaded to Andrea Wickland's Picasa portfolio. The images were later leaked and the original images taken down. Number 45. On August 11th and 12th, 3 entire fans picketed outside of the Valve headquarters in Bellevue, Washington, requesting information about Half-Life 3. Valve seemed unaware that this was even a protest and was reported to have been mildly confused. Number 46. Gabe Newell revealed that the biggest obstacle of Half-Life 3 faced in development was whether or not to call it Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or Half-Life 3. During development, an employee pointed out that the amount of content in the game far exceeded that of a previous episode for Half-Life 2. Number 47. Development for Half-Life 3 was nearly done in 2009, but Gabe Newell felt that the process was rushed to get the game out to fans as fast as possible. He scrapped this iteration of the project, citing that the game was basically Half-Life 2 but better, and felt that it needed a major rehaul. Number 48. Half-Life 3 confirmed that Portal does actually take place in the same universe. In Chapter 13, you, as Gordon Freeman, are tasked to pick up a new weapon located at the Aperture Science Center. Sound familiar? There, you will find a dilapidated test chamber and confront a rogue Gladys for a boss fight. Number 49. Unfortunately for many Alex fans, including myself, the fight against Gladys is the last we see of her. Her spot is then replaced by Shell, the protagonist of the Portal series. Immediately after discovering this, there was a backlash from fans who believed that this was a ploy to get Portal fans to play Half-Life 3. Number 50. During PAX East 2017, Willem Dafoe was asked how he prepared for all of the 327 roles that he played in Half-Life 3. Sources say he let out what was described as the shriek of a harpy. This purportedly continued uninterrupted for an entire 20 seconds. No audio clips survived. Number 51. In the Chernobyl level, you will find charts on the wall to your left. If you stare at them long enough, you can start to see a hidden lambda symbol start to appear on the wall. This is because you are drunk, because you have a drinking problem, and you really need to talk to somebody about it. Number 52. Halfway through its notoriously troubled production, Gabe Newell stopped taking in liquids altogether. "I just don't see the point in it anymore," he said in the interview with Game Informer. I mean, we're all gonna die anyway. Number 53. The first alpha build of what would become the final game featured permanent death. If you died even once during its playthrough, your saves would be deleted and your hard drive wiped. "It was just like in real life," said Newell. "You die, and there's no coming back." You think there's a heaven after the end? You really think there's a God? How dare you? I am your God. Number 54. In order to accurately portray Gordon Freeman's cultural shock into the alien world's level, Valve employee Cynthia Velasquez purportedly spent 18 months developing an entirely functional alien language. It had multiple dialects, each with their own variable syntax and writing system. This sequence was eventually cut because players found it, quote, boring. Number 55. Every single line of the alien dialogue in the cut section was performed by Willem Dafoe. He is the only known living person to speak or understand it. Number 56. With the increasingly bleak tone of Half-Life 3 taking shape, Newell was determined not to leave younger players out of the Half-Life franchise. He recently collaborated on a visual novel about the adventurous headcrab named Jeff, called Why to Be. Number 57. A download code to the game's beta was etched into all DeWalt brand crowbars manufactured between July 31st and September 21st of 2017. Number 58. The collector's edition of the Apricot box includes every game in the Half-Life franchise, a deluxe mousepad, and the Black Mesa brand radiation containment suit. Number 59. Due to pressing delays, the vinyl version of the game's soundtrack won't be available until the year 2022. Number 60. A planned live experience promotional event for the game was cancelled after the condemned factory it was planned to take place in registered high levels of toxicity on opening day. Personally, that just sounds to me like they nailed the experience, but what do I know? Number 61. A live-action movie is being made starring Oscar-winning actress Octavia Spencer. The film will be entitled Half-Life: Third Time's the Charm and will be released in early 2019. Number 62. If you enter the Konami code into an old terminal at the start of City 24 level, you activate Spider Mode. Unfortunately, no one knows what Spider Mode actually does, not even Valve. Number 63. When EGM asked Newell about Spider Mode, he immediately burst into tears and ended the interview. Number 64. The secondary fire for the crowbar was initially going to be a heavier crowbar hit, but at the last second, Valve changed it to a grenade launcher. Using it 25 times on enemies will unlock the achievement Say Hello to My Little Friend, which is of course a reference to Lord of the Rings. Number 65. On September 20th of 2017, Valve filed a missing persons report for acclaimed actor Willem Dafoe. Quote, "We haven't seen him in a few weeks, and we're all starting to get a little worried about him," said the release. The actor was last seen running into the woods in his motion capture suit. Quote, "babbling in one of those damn alien languages again." Number 66. In the same press release, they confirmed that John Hamm is fine and safe with his family, though he was very concerned about the well-being of his co-star. Newell took to the stage and, in a tear-filled address to the crowd, said, "I just feel awful. I feel like I ruined his life." Number 67. In the same press release, they further confirmed that there will be no split-screen co-op. Of course. Number 68. When April 2018 finally rolled around, Half-Life 3 was finally released, but only for critics. Number 69. It currently holds an IGN score of 5.5, with the interview reading, "At the end of the day, it's okay. It's not the disaster it probably should be, but honestly, I just kind of want to get back to playing The Last of Us 2. Number 70. In the last chapter of Half-Life 3, before the final boss battle, we won't tell you who for spoiler reasons, Gordon Freeman is not only joined by Shell from the Portal series, but also Gladys, as well as all of the mercenaries and the announcer of Team Fortress 2. Number 71. Many reviewers are giving the game a score of 3.3, not because they really feel that it deserves it, but just because they really want to make the 3 joke. Number 72. Gabe Newell has confirmed that there is one zombie for every joke about Half-Life 3's release date in the game. There are now 2.8 billion zombies in the game. Number 73. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. Number 74. In regards to the critical reception, a visibly relieved Gabe Newell wiped the sweat from his brow and said, "Well, honestly, that's about what I expected. Now, who's ready for Left 4 Dead 3? Yeah." Well, that's all we got right now, and the rest of the facts have been delayed indefinitely. I'm Kyle Stover, and thanks for watching 107 facts about Half-Life 3. Are you going to pick up a copy? Where do you think Willem Dafoe went? Comment below and let us know. We have new videos dropping every week, so let us know what game you want us to cover next, and don't forget to click the bell icon below to become part of the notification squad. If you like the sound of my voice or want to see what else I'm up to, you can follow me at AlphaLance on YouTube and Twitter. Also, check out Toad King Studios, who helped make this video possible, to see more gaming content. And if you like getting more from your game, subscribe to The Leaderboard, where we help you game smarter.